Hello and welcome to Always with Awareness. My name is Awa Lodmel.
And I'm Douglas Lodmell. And today I want to talk about the masculine and the feminine.
Ah,
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah. I want to talk about the masculine and feminine energy because it's such a big topic in our world.
That's right.
And I think there's just a ton of confusion. You
Yeah.
know?
I think the confusion lies where people think that you have to be one or the other and not both.
Right. Well,
Right?
yeah, and that in itself is making more people confused.
Right.
Because some people realize that they have to be both, and then they start identifying with both, and that's a whole nother story, right?
Exactly. Right.
But we all are both. We all have both, right?
We all have both. It's
Yeah.
just to know what is, when to use, what to use.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not about one being more powerful than the other. I don't think so.
Well,
You know, they all have, they're both powerful.
you know, there's a saying, there's no perfect airplane. There's just a perfect hangar. It has about 5 different airplanes in it.
Right.
So they all have a purpose, right? They have different reasons why you would want different things.
Yes.
The power of a masculine and the power of a feminine are just different.
That's right.
I think, you know, in the context, you would say, oh, for this application, I would like the power of the masculine. There was a mouse in my pool the other day. The girls did not call mommy because mommy is no more interested in that mouse than the girls were interested in that mouse. You know, whereas the boys were all like, ooh, a mouse. Let's take a look. Right? And daddy got it out of the pool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a fun example, but there is a difference, right?
Yeah. Well, this is a thing that I see people always get frustrated. And the minute you say men are powerful or men are more powerful or women are different, it's almost like, well, not anymore. Well, you know, I lift weight too. We can lift whatever they lift. It's not about that. You know, we all here come with what we come with. And there is female energy and masculine energy. And they all have their role. It's one makes a woman look like a woman, and one makes a man physically look like a man. Now, women that are not identifying with that energy as being powerful, that now is I would say, a deficiency and lack of opportunity to know what is it to be good and sitting on your seat, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, we all have our seat within us.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to sit in your seat. And when your seat of feminine, which is beautiful, because I can identify with that one because I'm a woman, right? And I can tell you what makes that energy beautiful is it is a energy that is very nurturing.
Yeah.
And when I say nurturing, it's you nurture yourself before you can even nurture anybody else. And when you're saying nurturing, you're not saying competing.
Right.
And that's the difference, I think. You know, when I came here in America, that's where the sayings like, well, I am not your mom, or you're not my boss, or, you know, it was very, I just didn't understand it. You know, all that was saying to me is, I am not going to nurture you.
Right.
You know, and this feminine energy is so nurturing that I don't see why anybody would not want to own it.
Well, I think the challenge that we've had over the last 100 years is that we have labeled and somehow categorized things as better and worse, right? This is the fundamental problem of humanity. This is, frankly, the fall from the Garden of Eden is literally our duality. This right and this wrong, and this better and this worse. And so, because the masculine energy does certain things that are kind of more obvious in their power, from just being able to lift something or to go out and just make
somebody out
make
there
something
with
happen
a
in the
label.
world or whatever. And since the world kind of focused on that masculine primary and defocused the feminine, kind of took it for granted.
Yes.
And frankly, the feminine, I mean, to me, the feminine is frankly the more powerful in the sense that it's just a much deeper, much more rooted type of power. But it has to be deep and rooted. It can't be. And so I think we've confused ourselves. We've confused ourselves about what it is that power looks like.
That's right.
And we have kind of said that masculine power is power. And that's the only power there is.
Yeah.
And so, of course, if masculine power is power, everybody wants to be powerful.
That's right.
We all want to be powerful. To me, this is one of the fundamental tenets in life and spirituality is our search for power. And I don't say that in a sense of search for power over other people. I'm saying search for power in the sense of the power to affect our world and our state of mind and who we are
Within
and our
ourselves.
awakening towards our ultimate enlightenment. That's power, right? But since we've defined power as masculine power, we've confused it, and we've got a whole generation of men and women that are now confused as to what power looks like.
I think that happened because we monetized
Yeah.
the masculine power.
Yeah.
And because we monetized the masculine power, and for the longest, the feminine power was like, you stay home and you make the babies, and, we put more value
Right.
in money than we put more value in the man.
Right.
Like, okay, now for me to feel valuable, I'm going to go and be a man out there.
Right. If
So
I'm
that
not
I've
making
been-
money, I'm not powerful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I see myself when I had to choose to be a mom at home and to raise my kids, and to see that as very important. And it's so funny because I remember saying that, and some woman would say, well, we can do both. I mean, I do both. And I'm not saying you cannot, but I am saying it cannot be the same.
Yeah. It cannot be the
It
same.
cannot be the same.
No.
But us women are the sisters that even compete or look at the one at home as no value.
Right. You're not.
You're wasting.
Oh, you
your-
wasted your life. You were a stay-at-home mom? Oh.
So funny. I was sharing with my sister the other day, and she's like, I am tired of it. I mean, it's just like, you will never go in a party and have a man ask you, what do you do? Like looking for your title before they can connect with you. But us women, we're the one that do it to each other.
To each other.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Men will do
Absolutely.
it between men, but unless it's a very business context, they're not going to come to a party and do
Absolutely.
it to women.
You don't even do it between you guys.
I don't do it. Yeah.
No, men would not be like, and what do you do? And
Some
trying
men
to.
do.
Some men, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it is so funny in this part of the world. Is the woman, that identifies so much with the title, and which is the intellect. Like, oh, are we intellectual like the man? Then we are powerful. If we are a stay-at-home mom and just raising the kids and the CEO of your life, which I said that's what I am, then you're not valuable. And that lies in the feminine and the masculine.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like in the world.
Well, you said it. I wasn't even thinking of that when we started this, but the fact that we've monetized
Absolutely.
everything,
Yeah.
it is absolutely playing out between men.
Yes.
So the men who make more money have more value, and they hold it over the men who make less money. And there's a pecking order, and it all gets layered up, and it's just the way in which we have determined the value of humans.
That's right.
Not just women and men, but humans. So
Humans.
we all say, oh well, the one makes the most money, has the most influence, they're the most valuable in this world.
That's right.
And of course, if that's the metric by which we all have to live,
Yeah.
and you're a woman, well, then you want to play that game too.
That's right.
Right? So
Yeah,
you want to be
yeah.
making money too, and you want to be powerful too.
Absolutely.
Because why wouldn't you? You're human. You want to be powerful. We all want to be powerful.
Exactly. To the detriment of this beautiful force. I'm not even saying power, this beautiful force that we are. There is more women right now that are having depression, or women that are just not happy.
Yeah.
That's the word. Not happy. You know, their energies are not aligned to be happy in their relationship, to be happy in their lives, to be happy parenting. More and more now we have kids, women that are choosing to go to work than creating a family.
Yeah.
You know, why? Because monetizing that energy is more important. And I think it's something that we need to step back, look up, and see, is that who we are? Is that who we want to be? Where is that taking us? Where is that taking the feminine within both of us?
Right.
Because the men have it too. But because we have devaluated it, what did it do to the men? Less respect for the woman. It's that simple.
Well, and the women less respect for themselves and
Absolutely.
each other.
Yeah.
Right. So because we monetized everything, and it's all about how much monetization you can gather in your life.
I know.
Then yes, that every other type of energy is just almost thrown away.
Yeah.
Right. It's certainly devalued.
Yeah.
Right. So, oh yeah, that's important to have a mother. It's important to have parents at home. It's important to have nurturing, but it's more important to have money.
Yeah.
Right.
Sadly.
And so I guess the question I would ask anybody is that true? So
Is that true?
Is that true? Do you think that's true, that it's more important to monetize the energy of you as a woman?
Well, you know, this is my answer to that. My mother raised 13 kids. I have way more money, way more education than my mom, but I can tell you, as of today, I cannot raise 13 kids.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
With all the money that we have created, we are less capable of raising a family.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to tell me things are more expensive? Not much.
No.
Not much. Because how do I know? To this day, what my mom could do back then, I cannot do it today or yesterday or tomorrow. So what had changed is the value we had given to who we are as human beings.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're coming from a culture where you're not nearly as far in Senegal down the path of monetizing every single thing as we
Absolutely.
are here, right?
Yes.
So it's not like going back to 1970. It's
No.
like being raised in the 30s or 40s.
Yeah.
To where you didn't monetize everything. In fact, nothing is monetized there. It's quite the opposite, even to this day. The value is in the human relationships that you have.
Absolutely.
It's not in the amount of money, because frankly, nobody really makes a lot of money.
Well, it's just like, when is enough enough?
Right.
When is enough enough? With this race of money, there is not a bar where we say, when you get to that, you can stop and be the woman you want to be or raise the kids you want to be. No, it's just more,
Yeah.
more,
More.
and more.
Yeah, the bar is more.
The bar is more. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So, I mean, and we're talking about this because it is very important. And I'm talking to my sisters. I think it's important that we look at ourselves. I watched in Instagram the other day, one of a woman was talking about how depressed, tired, burned she was to be in this chase of identity and in the world of money and success, being more diplomas, more education, to the point like she lost herself. And it hit home because I'm like so happy that more and more women are saying, no,
Right.
you know what? I am done.
Yeah.
Our intellect is not all we have to offer.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I mean, it's sad. I don't know where I heard it before, where they said, don't make your home be a cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
But most of our homes looks like cemetery.
Mm. But what do you mean by that?
Nobody's there.
Oh,
There is
there's
no
no
life.
life in the home.
There is no life.
Everybody's out working.
Everybody's out working. Kids are coming home to a frozen meal. Parents, when they come home, they're running to a glass of wine because they are so overworked. I mean, what are we doing to ourselves? The home is not a home anymore. People don't have time. Now I even see ads that say it's a waste of time to create a family time to sit down and eat.
A waste of time.
Waste of time.
Okay.
You know, get a shake and go on with your life. It's amazing. But what is that doing to us?
Yeah.
The human being, that beautiful energy that we are we going to trade that? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be working. Some people need to work. Some women are the only one that are in the family raising the kids, and they have to create that time. But I'm just saying in general, what we have done to the woman, the feminine, the nurturing energy, and how we had competed with the masculine. Because when you compete with something, you are saying, you are less than. Let me show you that I can be more. And what did that do to the man in our lives? Less respect for us. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Less respect for us. Not seeing us as a companion to be having for a lifetime. Now, like you said, all you do is swipe, you know? And I think all of that, the result of all that we're seeing right now is fundamentally coming to, we see our energy being valuable when it's monetized.
Yeah. Well, and it's not the men who are going to change that. It's the women.
The one that didn't feel good enough about themselves at the first place are the one that can change that about themselves.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think the world moves at the speed of woman. I think women drive this world and where we're really heading, because
Always did,
they
or will
raise the
always.
kids. They raise the men, by the way.
Yeah.
And if you think, no, men drive the world, and I hear a lot of women saying, no, women are powerless, men drive the world. It's the most short-sighted way in which to see things. Men might be driving certain pieces of the world today because they're in the power positions. They didn't create that themselves. They didn't create that alone. And they certainly didn't raise themselves, right? Some mothers raised them. And to me, I'm looking to the woman of the world and the men, but the men in the context of respecting and raising the woman so that we can reconnect with our feminine.
Absolutely.
And not just the woman reconnecting with the feminine, the masculine reconnecting with the feminine.
Absolutely.
You know, I look at my own videos, these videos that we're doing, and I can see the energy and I can see the comfort I have with the masculine and the feminine in the very movements of my body.
Yeah.
In the very tone of my voice, I can see it.
Yeah.
And I can see it in you. I can see it in everybody, frankly. But it's
Yeah.
most interesting to look at it in yourself, because in yourself, you have the most insight, right?
Yeah.
So for me, this argument of this masculine and the feminine and all the little sub arguments that have spread out around it that we are occupying our time with
Yeah.
in this world, they're just missing the point.
It
we need to
is.
back it all up into, our own personal energy. And so as a man, I learned to respect my masculine energy and call upon it when I need it, and my feminine energy and call upon it when I need it, knowing that I have both. And that,
right.
yes, as a man, they're not equally balanced in me. My masculine is stronger than my feminine.
That's right.
But it's not that it's not there. And there are times when I can flip it. And there are times when you choose to flip it.
Yeah.
And you have masculine and feminine. Your feminine is stronger, but your masculine can be flipped right up, and you can whip it out as needed.
Absolutely. And again, that feminine is that nurturing. The feminine is the one that is inclusive. It's just almost like a dance between when you need to focus on you and when you need to focus in the bigger you. Right? And that's how I see those two energy dance together, and you can tell when a man is so rooted in his masculine that he bullies everything in the room. Doesn't care if there is a woman in the room. Actually, if any, it's just like they don't count. And it's so funny because I can see that when they come to our home, and I can sit back and laugh and smile because they look like a kid.
Yeah, they look like a little kid.
They look like a little kid
trying to
that need
bully their little playground around.
Exactly, that need to identify with their title and how much money they have in the bank, and you just sit there and you just laugh, But all of that to say, it is beautiful. It's a beautiful dance, and we all have it, and we all should be nurturing both.
Yeah.
And when you nurture both, and you know when to identify with one or the other, you are a gift to this world. You are not part of the bully of this world, because we're good at bullying, every one of us.
Yeah.
When you identify with one too much than the other one.
So how can the women who are listening to this, who are this is resonating with,
Yes.
but they're not doing it, they have more identified with the masculine. They've turned their life into the monetization model so that they can compete and feel valuable and feel their own power.
Yes.
But then they're hearing this from you right now, from us, and saying, that rings true to me, but I don't even know how to do it. Like where to start?
I know it is hard, because I think what makes a grounded woman is sisterhood, other women. But in your life, if you only have people that are doing the same work you're doing, and when you're talking, it's only about that, it's hard to balance yourself. I think when I was growing up, my mother, and so is all the other women that used to live in the building, at night we'll get together under the tree, and they'll be talking, advising themselves. And I think that was their power. Women needs to gather. We need to gather more, and we need to respect each other. We need to listen to each other. We need to be able to be flexible, to learn from each other. I think that is what we need. This way of living where we focus on the work and how much money, and at the end of the day, you spend the whole day, who you talk to is your boss, your husband, your boy. I mean, it's one way. More and more, find women that help you ground yourself. And it could be here in just this show. asking more questions, commenting, but it's about time that us women, we realize when we join effort in a grounding way with intention of growing and not monetizing, something beautiful is born. We heal ourselves. We heal each other. There is nothing women together cannot do to not heal not only each other. And when we heal, the rest of the world is healed.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, we are the partner for everybody.
Yeah.
We're the partner in the home, we're the partner of our kids, we're the partner of our husband, we're the partner of our parents.
Yeah.
So when we heal, when we're powerful, when that feminine energy is nurtured by the right conversation, the right space to be, the right food, it's amazing. I watch it within my own self. I watch it within my own sisters that I take the time to spend time with. And each time I come back home feeling better, better, and better. And this is a call for that. That energy, it cannot happen if us women, we don't take back our energy back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think you guys have less to deal with.
Yeah.
Because yours is just like, you can go forever thinking about work.
Well, we're simpler creatures for sure. We really are. Simpler hormones, simpler creatures, simpler.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're not simpler minds. We still have all the inquiry, and but we have, again, certain machines are easier to operate than other machines.
That's right.
I think the masculine machinery and chemistry is easier to operate than the feminine machinery and chemistry.
That's right.
I'm speaking as a man on that. So I'm open to being wrong. I often am, but that's my impression.
Yeah.
And so I do think it's simpler. I don't think it's easier. I just think it's simpler.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, just to close this, I just read recently that the reason why women live longer than men is that a woman will call on other women to talk about and to share. That's just who we are. And a man, you can have a problem and you say, call your brothers. Like, no, I'll take care of it myself. I don't need to call anybody. Yeah. That sharing, the power of sharing that the woman can do, that will change the world.
Well, and that's why the marriage, the couple, is so powerful, because the man really won't ask for directions, but the woman will. And then the man will get the directions because the woman asked.
Exactly. Even with car, what's it called? Siri, I'm like, sometimes, can't you just ask to? You're like, no, I'll figure it out myself. That's the masculine.
Yeah.
They want to figure it out themselves.
Right.
I can tell you there is more women, I'm sure, that uses the
GPS?
The GPS than men. Men would be lost 10 times and think that's a good thing, Like,
Well, we're
I
learning the
figure it
terrain
out.
because we're lost. We learn how by being lost.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good thing for us.
They said it. They like to be lost.
Well, we like to be
don't.
lost for a while because we feel like we're actually getting some value from that. We're learning.
That's
We're
right.
not going to read the damn instructions to the IKEA thing. We'll figure it out. We'll make mistakes, but we'll learn how the thing is put together. So next time.
Beautiful. And that's the man energy for you. And we love you guys.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That was our intake about the masculine and the feminine.
I'm sure there's a lot more on this.
Oh.
I'm sure that you guys have questions. Please ask. What I heard, though, is that if you're trying to find that, it's to share, right? To share with, and if you're a woman, to share with other women. So if I were in that position, I would forward this video to a woman that you want to have this conversation with and say, hey, let's talk about it. Maybe create a group, maybe create a group chat. Just something to where you can start having this conversation together, because look, we learn together, right? We are going to succeed in this world together or not at all, right?
Yeah.
It's just the way it's going to work. We're not going to partially succeed. Some of us are going to do it and some of us are not going to do it. We're all going to do it. Now, we're all going to do it at different speeds. Some of us will do it earlier. Some of us will do it later. For the ones that are doing it earlier, I think the job of those is to look back and go, oh, this was a trouble for me. I would like to help. So the people that have to do this next, it's a little easier. So let me put a sign here, like, hey, big rock coming up around the corner, right? And that's really what this podcast is for. We're just trying to put some signs up for the part of the terrain that we've mapped or crossed, and you know, that's it. And again, we're doing it together. We are expecting that you're going to put up the sign on the other part of the terrain that we are now going to have to cross too.
Yeah.
And part of that is the interchange, the questions and the answers, the comments, the directions that you guys push us.
Yeah.
The way in which we end up talking. I mean, I can see, you know, we have really light conversations and then we have heavier conversations. But I think the one consistent thing that so far I feel very clear about is that they have all been authentic conversations.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Thanks. Well, we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you.